My husband said that his mother was the gold standard of wives, and said that I would never measure up to her. He went hysterical when he found out that his whole childhood was a lie. My husband told me I'd never measure up to his mother at our anniversary dinner, but his mother had been keeping receipts for 20 years. When Kyle and I got married 5 years ago, I knew he was close to his mother Ellen. I thought it was sweet. She seemed lovely, always smiling, always helpful. But after the honeymoon, Kyle started the comparisons. Ellen's pot roast was better than mine. Ellen ironed his shirts with military precision. Ellen never complained about housework. Ellen managed to raise 3 kids and keep an immaculate home. Every single day there was something I did that wasn't how Ellen would do it. I started trying harder. I got Ellen's recipes, bought the same cleaning products, even wore my hair similar to hers. Nothing was ever good enough. Kyle would taste my cooking and say it was missing something, then drive to his mother's house to eat dinner there instead. 3 times a week he'd come home with bags of food Ellen made for him because mine wasn't quite right. Last month I got promoted to regional manager at my company. When I told Kyle, he said Ellen never needed a career because she understood that taking care of her family was the most important job. I asked him if he wanted me to quit my job. He said no, we needed the money. But Ellen managed to make her husband feel like a king even when she worked part-time. Yesterday was our 5th anniversary. Kyle said we'd go somewhere special. He drove us to his mother's house. Ellen had cooked a full anniversary dinner for us. Kyle said this was perfect because Ellen's food was better than any restaurant. As I sat there eating her pot roast, Kyle started his usual routine. Told his mother how I'd burned eggs that morning, how I'd forgotten to pick up his dry cleaning, how I'd bought the wrong brand of coffee. Ellen just nodded and kept serving food. And Kyle said the thing that finally broke me. Mom, I tell Julia all the time, she just can't compete with you. You're the gold standard of wives and mothers. She tries, but some women just have it and others don't. I set down my fork. You're absolutely right, Kyle. I can't compete with your mother. Ellen looked up sharply. Kyle smiled, thinking I was finally admitting defeat. I continued. I can't compete because I'm not getting the same deal Ellen got. Kyle's father, Robert, who'd been silent all evening, suddenly coughed into his napkin. Ellen stood up slowly. Julia, what exactly do you mean by that? I looked at Kyle. Your father paid for everything, right? Ellen never had to work full-time. She had a housekeeper twice a week, a gardener. Your dad's secretary handled all the household scheduling and bills. Kyle's mouth fell open. That's not. Mom did everything herself. Robert started laughing. Actually laughing. Son, your mother hasn't cleaned a toilet in 30 years. I paid for help because I wanted her to enjoy raising you kids, not be exhausted by housework. Ellen walked over to a cabinet and pulled out an old photo album, started flipping through it. Kyle, honey, look at these pictures from when you were young. See that woman in the background? That's Dolores. She was our housekeeper. This one? That's the meal delivery service van. We had pre-made dinners delivered 3 times a week that I just had to heat up. Kyle grabbed the album. But you always said you did everything from scratch. Ellen sat down next to me. I did do things from scratch, on weekends, for special occasions. The rest of the time I had help, lots of help, which your father happily paid for because he valued my sanity. Robert leaned forward. Kyle, how much help do you give Julia? Do you cook, clean, do laundry? Kyle stammered. I work long hours. So does Julia, Robert interrupted. In fact, from what I hear, she makes more than you. Ellen pulled out her phone and started scrolling. You know what? I've kept every receipt from those days. Dolores, $500 a week. Garden service, $300 a month. Meal delivery, $600 a month. Your father's secretary handling all our paperwork. That was part of her salary, but probably worth another $500 monthly. Add it up, Kyle. She showed him her phone calculator. That's about $4,000 a month in today's money for household help. That's how I was the perfect wife and mother. I had a staff. Kyle's face was red. You lied to me. My whole life you let me think you did everything. Ellen shook her head. You never asked. You just assumed. And then you weaponized that assumption against your poor wife. She turned to me. Julia, I'm so sorry. If I'd known what he was doing, I would have set him straight years ago. Robert stood up. Son, you're going to go home and either hire help for Julia or start doing half the housework yourself. And you're going to apologize to your wife for 5 years of emotional abuse. Kyle tried to argue, but Ellen cut him off. Or you can move back here and I'll teach you exactly how much work it really is, without any help, like Julia's been doing. We left immediately. Kyle hasn't spoken to his mother in 3 days. He's angry she deceived him. Ellen texted me this morning asking if I want to go to lunch, just the 2 of us.